Kumar Rao, who joins me, and he's an attorney and Director of Justice Transformation at the Center for Popular Democracy. Kumar, great to have you on the program. First of all, your reaction to what we have seen, the killing, first of all, the protests and the comments we've just heard now from the governor of Minnesota. So much has happened.
Yeah, so much happens. Thank you for having me. I think ultimately, look, we are in a crisis in the United States. It's a crisis of public safety, a crisis of national security, and a crisis of justice. But it's not a new crisis. It's one our country has been facing for decades, honestly. And as your previous guest mentioned, this is sort of hit fever pitch over really the last several years with series of killings, one after the other. And reaching the point where in the United States, we now have police killing over 1,000 people every year, meaning that on any given day, on average, the police are actually killing 2 to 3 people in our country on a daily basis. So it's a real crisis. People are, I think, outraged, terrified, frustrated, and are really looking and calling on elected officials and our society to start to really rethink the way we're approaching this issue.
And why have the police officers not been arrested?
Yeah, it's I mean, it's a very good question. It's one I think that should be put to the district attorney, the chief prosecutor in Minneapolis. It's one that should be put to the mayor. It's one that should be put to the governor and the president and the Department of Justice, any one of which could have used their power to make an arrest happen. I think it's part of a broader, problem, part of a broader crisis that policing and police officers are not held to the same account that other people are. Even though they should be held to an even higher account, given that they're, armed agents of the state and are trained and supposed to be comporting themselves with public safety, the Constitution, and really serving communities, not harming them. So there is some, I think, allusions by different elected officials that there may be arrests coming, but it's obvious that it's taken way too long. The issues around what to charge these officers with, I think, has been one question. But in other situations, again, where police are not involved and they're arresting individuals, it's usually arrest now and then we charge and can make different charges later. And there's no reason why they can't do that in this case.
And I know this is something for the courts, but you're a lawyer. Just a simple question. How strong is that video evidence? And we just heard the governor saying in the last hour, there isn't always a camera.
Well, we've all seen it. I mean, the whole world, I think, has seen what happened there. There's really no other explanation. George Floyd was killed and died as a result of that police officer putting his knee on his neck for an extended period of time. So the video speaks for itself. I'm not sure what the district attorney was saying yesterday. And I think that his comments really inflamed the protesters even more. People are really outraged. They're angry. And I think they need to hear from people in power that they hear that pain and that anger and that they're going to do something about it. And that these people, these officers need to be held to account. Not only the officer, again, that actually put his knee on the neck of George Floyd, but there were several officers on the scene that stood by silently or even may have had physical contact with George Floyd and holding him down, all of which should be held to account. And I know they've been fired, but the question of their responsibility beyond that goes much deeper.
Kumar Rao, speaking to us from New York, thank you so much. We really appreciate your time.